So guys, in this channel we are going to discuss the most important topics for NEET pre-PG examination, and undergraduate students are also can follow these topics for the undergraduate examination. These are most important topics during examination. So we are going forward. Our first topic is malabsorption syndrome. Malabsorption syndrome is actually associated with the diminished intestinal absorption of one or more dietary nutrients. One or more dietary nutrients. So there is so this term जो ये term है, this term is not an ideal term as it represents the pathophysiologic state and does not provide an etiologic explanation for underlying cause, and so should not be considered as an adequate final diagnosis. तो हम इसे adequate final diagnosis नहीं बोल सकते इस टर्म को, क्योंकि इसके अंदर भी बहुत सारे कोज होंगे जो ये माल एब्जॉर्प्शन करवाते होंगे. ओके, द ओनली क्लिनिकल कंडीशन इन विच एब्जॉर्प्शन इज इंक्रीज्ड, देयर इज ओनली इंक्रीज इन कंडीशन इन विच एब्जॉर्प्शन इज इंक्रीज आर hemochromatoma or Wilson's disease, where ferrous and copper's absorption is increased respectively. So most of the absorption take place in small intestine. As we know, most of the absorption take place in small intestine. The malabsorption syndrome is disease of small intestine, not of large intestine. So small intestine can be divided in two parts like this here. Small intestine and small intestine of proximal side and distal side. So proximal side, there is calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, iron, copper and folic acid, and many other things are absorbed, and mostly these are. And distal side, triple B, we can learn it like bile salt, bilirubin or B12, vitamin B12 and fat. Okay, these are absorbed on distal side, and fat also on proximal side. So moving forward, we are going to learn about some tests for malabsorption. So first test is 72-hour stool fat estimation. It is a gold standard investigation, friends. It is a gold standard investigation, and it is a quantitative test, it is a quantitative test where if the stool fat content is more than 6% of oral quantity, then the most common condition which arises is steatorrhea. What is the condition? Is steatorrhea, and this condition is most common abnormality of malabsorption syndrome. So this is important thing, we have to note this thing, and this condition is most common, be careful, most common abnormality of malabsorption syndrome. Important. And moving towards the second test, this is spot test. Spot test is a qualitative test. It is not a quantitative, it is a qualitative test where Sudan 3 staining of stool 4 fat is done. Where Sudan 3 staining of stool 4 fat is done, which is positive. ये positive आता है if stool fat is more than 10%. Okay, and it is rapid and inexpensive. Okay, and it does not establish, but important line है, this does not establish degree of fat malabsorption. ये fat malabsorption की डिग्री नहीं बताता है, हाँ ये बताता है हाँ fat malabsorption हो रखा है. And other test is breath test. Breath test we can also call it C13 breath test, or here we the administration of C13 mixed with triglyceride. Okay, administration of C13 mixed with triglyceride, oral administration है, and release of C13 is seen in breath. Okay, so we moving towards the test, we use C13 mixed with triglyceride, go through the oral and move to the stomach. In stomach, it absorbs in the GIT system, and from where it goes to liver, and from there it goes to lungs, and from lungs it carries out in the form of CO2. So we label carbon 13, this come with CO2. So CO2 comes out with the breath. So the release of C13 in the breath is a positive test. Means it is a positive test. So most important thing in this test is what are those triglycerides which we are using in this test with C13. So it is a trioctanol, trioline and tripalmitin. These are most important. This is a question for MCQ. And moving, so these three tests, which are 72 hours stool fat estimation, spot test and the breath test, these are tests for malabsorption of fat. What? Malabsorption of fat. Okay. Moving towards the next topic. This is test for carbohydrate malabsorption. What is this? Is carbohydrate malabsorption. So the most important test we do for carbohydrate malabsorption is D-xylose test, and this is very important, guys. D-xylose test is very important, where carbohydrate does not digest in GIT. We should know one thing: carbohydrate does not digest in GIT. So D-xylose is a pentose monosaccharide absorbed exclusively. Be careful. Absorbed exclusively at the proximal small intestine. Okay, proximal small intestine. So we follow the following steps. First, oral 25 milligram of D-xylose. How much? Oral 25 milligram. Be careful. Oral 25 milligram of D-xylose goes through stomach to small intestine. From small intestine it absorbed in the blood, and from the blood it goes to the kidney, and then it goes to urine and excrete through urination. Okay, so in this test we used to collect 5-hour urine. Okay, we used to collect 5-hour urine. So if 5-hour urine excretion of D-xylose is more than 4.5 milligram, how much is more than 4.5 milligram, then the test is normal. Then what they say? Then the test is normal. And if excretion is less than 4.5 gram, if excretion is less than 4.5 gram, then this is the abnormal D-xylose test. So for abnormal D-xylose test, what are the most common causes? First two are very important: pyloric stenosis, and second is proximal small intestine disease. And which is the proximal small intestine disease? Is Selig Sprue, most important. And third is bacterial overgrowth syndrome. Fourth is loss into third space, which may be ascites or pleural effusion. This is a false positive. This is a false positive test where not a malabsorption is occurring. There is only ascites or pleural effusion in that case. Okay. And fifth is renal failure. Moving to the third test, which are using for malabsorption of vitamin B12. Of what? Vitamin B12 malabsorption. So for vitamin B12 we use chilling test. Chilling test is this test is done for vitamin B12 malabsorption. Okay, to identify vitamin B12 malabsorption and different causes of vitamin B12 malabsorption. Okay, so principle is same as D-xylose test, given through oral. Vitamin B12 is given through oral and collected 24-hour urine collection. So before it, some theory related to this test. This test we have to study. So this test works same as D-xylose test. Okay, means principle is same. So we took dietary cobalamin, means cobalamin. Okay, which bind with R binder. Okay, R binder क्या होता है? R binder, the cobalamin binds with the R binder, which is released by salivary gland. The R binder is formed in both salivary gland and stomach. Be careful. note this thing. R binder is formed in both salivary glands and stomach. So here the R binder is come from salivary gland and which bind with cobalamin, and now it goes to the stomach, and in stomach there are cells present called parietal cells. Now parietal cells which release intrinsic factors है ना. पैराइटल सेल्स क्या करती है, सिंथेसिस करती है इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर का और रिलीज करती है इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर का. ओके, तो इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर कोबालामिन के साथ बाइंड होता है. नाउ इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर कोबालामिन के साथ बाइंड होगा और इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर एक ग्लाइकोप्रोटीन है. इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर कोबालामिन के साथ बाइंड होगा. हियर वी नीड टू ब्रेक द नाउ मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. सो अब आर बाइंडर कोबाल्स के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है, कोबालामिन के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है, तो हमें उसको ब्रेक करना पड़ेगा, है ना. अगर इसका एक्सक्रीशन करवाना है तो इसका ब्रेक होगा, तब आर बाइंडर टूटेगा, तब जाके इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर ऐड होगा. सो हियर वी नीड टू ब्रेक द COR बॉन्ड, सो विच इज डन बाय पैनक्रियाटिक एंजाइम. इट इज अ प्रोटियोलाइटिक मीन्स पैनक्रियाटिक एंजाइम ब्रेक्स द कोबाल्ट और आर बाइंडर cobalamin or R binder bond, which will give CO different and R different. Then CO will bind with intrinsic factor, means cobalamin bind with intrinsic factor, and after that tubulin receptor present in small intestine, where tubulin receptor are present. तो tubulin receptor क्या करेंगे, these tubulin receptor binds with intrinsic factor and free the cobalamin, which is excreted to liver or kidney. Okay, so in Stilling test, so what we do in Stilling test, we use radio labeled cobalt. Important thing, we use radio labeled cobalt which is administered orally with CO58 actually, CO58 orally with IM vitamin B12 of 1000 microgram. ये किस लिए देते हैं, टू फिल द लीवर so that liver gets saturated. Okay, so these are the question here MCQ. How much we can give CO orally radio labeled? It is 0.5 to 1 milligram, and here 1000 microgram IM is given. Okay, so now we collect 24-hour urine. Okay, now we collect 24-hour urine. So if excretion is less than 10%, okay, रेडियो लेवल जो कोबालामिन था उसका एक्सक्रीशन अगर 10% से कम होता है मीन्स एबनॉर्मल है, और 10% से ज्यादा होता है तो नॉर्मल है. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. फॉर बेटर रिजल्ट वी फाइंड आउट द एग्जैक्ट कोज ऑफ विटामिन B12 malabsorption. Okay, for better result we found out the exact cause of vitamin B12. The following differential should be run. We have to run the following differential. So if excretion was less than 10% but become more than 10% if we add intrinsic factor. Okay, if we add intrinsic factor और ये 10% जो कम है वो 10% ज्यादा हो जाए, 10% से ज्यादा हो जाए, तो उसमें समझ लेना चाहिए हमें कि द प्रॉब्लम इज पर्निशियस एनीमिया, बिकॉज डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंट्रिंसिक फैक्टर कैन कॉजेस पर्निशियस एनीमिया. सेकंड कंडीशन इज if pancreatic enzyme are given and the condition is become good, then it is chronic pancreatitis. And if patient is given antibiotic for 5 days, okay, antibiotic for 5 days, and then the condition is become good, it means the problem is bacterial overgrowth syndrome. Okay, and there may be another condition like ileal disease. Okay, if there is isolated tubulin receptor deficiency. Okay, one another condition, it is an important question. If there is isolated tubulin receptor deficiencies, this present, then the disease will be Imerslund-Griesbach syndrome, which is Imerslund-Griesbach syndrome, very important condition hai, should be noted. And another and final test is investigational test of investigation test for malabsorption is biopsy. It is very important and it is a gold standard test. It is most specific, be careful, note it, it is most specific and gold standard investigation. So here we finish our investigation and general inquiry about malabsorption syndrome. We will, in next lecture, we will study about the causes of etiology or the causes of malabsorption, which are celiac sprue, tropical sprue, Whipple's disease, and bacterial overgrowth syndrome. Thank you.